watching Quad Cities Live.
Well, we hope that you're already recycling at home, but can you recycle like a rock star?
And Breidenstein with Living Lands and Waters joins us, and you guys have a special large-scale sorting event coming up for sure.
We sure do.
Tell us about that. How did these items get collected?
Yep, so the items that we'll be sorting through is actually items that we removed out of the Mississippi River down in Memphis, Tennessee. We actually worked with a large number of college kids from across the country that joined us down there in Memphis in spring for their spring break, and we actually hand pick all of this trash out of the river. So then we load it up onto our barge. The barge is then brought up here to the Quad Cities, and we're going to sort through it and try to get all the recyclables we can.
Wow, and roughly how much of it is there to sort through that you guys have
Yeah, we're looking at about 60,000 pounds.
Really?
Yeah,
wow.
60,000 pounds that these rock stars that were down in Memphis actually pulled up out of the riverbank in about 3 weeks.
Yeah, and you call it a double-edged sword. We just talked about this off camera because obviously you don't like to see that, you know, in the Mississippi River.
Right. No, it's one of those things. It's a terrible thing to see, and as you can see on the screen and everything, we have just these amazing members of the community, and we get to see this all around the country. But to come back to our hometown and actually do something good with the litter that we're seeing is really uplifting. So yeah, we hope that we can continue this. Its first step is to get it out of the river, which we have done, and now we're going to sort for as much of it to be recycled as possible.
Well, many of us know about Living Lands and Waters, but for anyone who's not familiar, describe the nonprofit and everything you do.
Yeah, so Living Lands and Waters, we're a nonprofit river cleanup organization. Started by Chad Bergracki here in the Quad Cities. We basically go up and down the Mississippi River, the Ohio, Missouri, Tennessee. We've been on 25 rivers in 21 states, and we engage with local communities and members of that area to help pick up that garbage. So it may be a small crew of 10 of us, but we're actually working with over 120,000 people. To date, we're looking at 12.5 million pounds of trash removed out of the river.
Engagement, that's an important word. How crucial would you say the role is of the volunteers that help you guys?
Yeah, it's the whole thing, right? You know, because the thing is, we can have the mission of doing this ourselves, but to get the numbers and the sheer volume that we're working with, we need everybody's help. So we try to make it light. We're going to have a live DJ. We'll have barbecue afterwards with smoking butts. That's going to be, catering the food. So yeah, we're looking to have a really good time.
Did I hear that? A free lunch? And
yeah.
We'll be there.
Count me in.
Can't beat it. Come join us.
Oh my goodness, that is so much fun. So any recycling tips for beginners? I know kind of recycling's kind of the last step.
One of the best things that we like to say is, the plastics, for anyone that does come out to join us, we're going to be finding a lot of single-use products. And so it's kind of reducing your consumption of those single-use is the best way you can do to help, because a lot of the trash that we're actually picking up out of the rivers come from the streets, the storm drains, then the nearest creek to the river. That's where we're picking them up at and everything, and a lot of it starts out on land.
Okay, so a big tip there is kind of start before it even gets there.
Yes, 100%.
Before it gets into the river. Okay, and then for the volunteers that do come out, is there any special things that they are going to need to know as they're sorting through some of this stuff? Yeah,
you'll be surprised what you can find. It's one of those things that it's you just show up, we'll provide all the supplies, the gloves, the sleeves if you need them and everything, and it's pretty straightforward. We basically take the garbage from our barge, we actually transport it to some troughs that we actually sort through on tables, and we just hand sort trash, recyclable, working with Scott County Waste and everything to see what we can recycle out of the debris we have, because a lot of it is littered pretty heavily with mud and other stuff, so we want to make sure the stuff that we're pulling out of can actually be repurposed.
Describe for us the location that we're gathering at.
Yeah, so it's going to be down in Davenport at the Davenport Sailing Club. It's going to be right down there in the parking lot. So if you start heading down there, you'll see the signs directing you.
And the people and the whole setup.
Yes, and the music and the barbecue smell, and yeah, we'll be down there.
That's going to be a lot of fun. Well, Recycle Like a Rock Star, it is a week from this Saturday, so July 23rd. Again, you're going to meet along East River Drive near Oneida Avenue there by the Sailing Club. Register ahead of time by heading to XSTREAMCleanup.org. Lunch and live music, as you talked about, are going to be provided. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you very much for having me.